Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. It's White Rabbit here, and today we're here again. We're here and we are ready for our next video, guys. Again, we are, I guess, unveiling the hidden truths of our history. Our history is important, and we should know our history. If you want to know where you need to go or who you need to be and how you need to be, your history, your real history would help you out. Now, as you can see here, we're looking at this image. The reason why I have this image here, as I show you the buildings that I have in mind today, a few structures. I've got loads, but I'll just be sharing, probably for 10 minutes, because I know how people's attention span is. I look at the video analytics and I can see that, slightly shorter videos from the one, like 10 minutes, around 10 minutes should be fine. But anyways, guys, just look at, what really interested me here in this picture is, for one, two things. If you look at the structure that we're looking at here, it looks very identical to how all the old buildings were constructed. They all had this, I like to call it a generator on top. You can call it what you like. So that interested me. And the second thing was these lines, guys, these waves, the kind of like energy, electromagnetic waves, and the fact that it's actually, the energy is running at the tip of our generator here, guys. Again, it got my attention. It's just an image, but it really got my attention because I can see again, this again shows me that using energy from the ether, that a machine that is, its purpose is to harness etherical energy, free energy for all, as as society was back then. All right, guys, so let's jump back here and let's just go to the beginning, guys. There's so many images, so just keep in mind the shape of that image that I showed you guys, okay, that generator. And then we're just going to look at some buildings from back in the days, okay. Again, as I always say, guys, clearly we have been lied to. Our history isn't what they've told us it is, because there's so much missing, guys. There's so much information missing about our history, really, if you think about it. And also, like, for example, who built these buildings that I'm looking at right now? This is a chrome image, so you get some color, but it's an old image, just showing you the magnitude, I guess, the how grand and how beautiful things. Wow, look how well all this is lit up, and not to forget as well, guys, electricity wasn't discovered too long before this. I'm gonna put exactly when it was discovered so you guys can see it for yourselves, and the fact that they were able to do this and then power up so many world fairs and so on, the world fairs, expositions and so on. It just makes you wonder, like, where the hell were they getting all that electricity from in order for them to actually power this up and make it look this good, And one possible way, I'm not saying this is the way, one possible way that I'm saying is that these people used free energy, and of course, using these devices. And if you look around, through all the images that I'll be sharing with you today, you're gonna find this generator for harnessing the free energy, and it's generally the same shape, constructed the same. You're gonna see the columns, the same style, just like you had the buildings. These really reflect the buildings. And then you're gonna find the an antenna on top of that generator as well, yeah. And that and that's how they used the free energy. That's how they were able to be able to power up all these places that they held the world fairs, all these locations, like that's how they were able to power these places up. Look how beautiful this looks. So guys, yeah, today is really about just going through some images, looking at the structures of the olden days, that they expect us to believe that we built these ourselves, with what technology, I don't know, but you guys, you make up your mind. I'm just here to share these information with you guys, at the types of buildings. Look at the intricacy of this building, so my question really, guys, is who the hell built these buildings, and with what technology? Okay guys, so let's jump up here. Another thing as well that I would like to share is guys, history, our history is false. Okay, we don't really know what happened, because they've done such a great job at at basically clearing our history, and resets after resets. Resets is when they basically destroy an entire civilization and bring a new civilization in its place, and so on, and continue. So I believe we had a few, a good amount of those, and throughout the time as well, the buildings, they have remained. That's something that I'm trying to basically highlight here, that these buildings that we're seeing, they weren't built by our civilization of this lifespan. Everybody that's been alive, it was built by somebody else, as a civilization that was different from us, that clearly cared about beauty, and they were very good at what they did, and used technologies that are beyond our human capacities, guys. Okay, this is Paris, and these buildings, you find them all across the world, guys, all across the world. Like, our cities were already here before we even got here. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Like, we didn't build this in the 1800s, guys, or prior to that. And another crazy thing that they also want us to believe is that I guess the length of, the time which it took to build these buildings. Some of these buildings, they say, took them 3 years to build. It takes a certain level of I guess, consciousness to build these, guys. Okay, it takes a certain level of consciousness to build these buildings. This is a civilization that's on a different level than these dudes down here. These people here, they're just inheritors. They don't even know how these buildings got there. Like, our cities were already here. Like, and if again, guys, it's the same style of work, same style. You'd think the same company freaking did it, but it looks like these places were built for kings or something. It's crazy. Like, just the magnitude of it. Like, telling me humans back in 1800 built this shit? With what? Asaki Uni, I'm guessing this is Japan. Yeah, this is an old Japanese church, looks like. Again, this is not a real image, but this is a picture that someone made. I'm guessing they're doing this based on something that they saw, and just look how big this is. Like, look how small a human is in comparison to this space. How long do you think it would take humans to build? How many humans? And do you really think that they had the technologies to pull off all this neat work? Come on. Like, these people, they look outside of their zone. Like, they're not evolved enough to construct buildings like these, and they're all the same style. Look at the columns, yeah. and keep going, you see more. Like, it's always the same style of building. How gigantic that is. How the hell did these people build it? The statues and fountains in Crystal Palace Park. Masonic hand gesture right there. Always find them lurking somewhere. And just look at the building behind it. You know, it looks all destroyed. Like, it's crazy. What happened? They'll tell you this was after the Great Fire, but these buildings look like they were hit with more than just fire. And look at that, guys. How did they power up this whole area? They were new with electricity. How is all this being powered? All these light bulbs and everything. Come on, think. And another thing as well, guys, that I also wanted to bring to your attention is, like, for example, like, you're told, like, you're it's either you're black, you're white, you're Asian, or you're whatever else you may be, and you're from this country, you're from that country, and people, humanity just accepted, those facts, let's call it facts for now, because people live by them. They just accepted those theories, those facts I was born in location Argentina, so I'm Argentinian. Not really, you're not, because it doesn't matter, like, where you're born, where you're from. Like, they did all those things for extra division of the population, because you think you're from Argentina, but how many resets have there been? How many times have they moved and shifted things, continents and so on? Like, nobody really knows where they're from, and that doesn't really matter. Like, in terms of country, if it's north, south, east, if it's Asia, it doesn't matter which part of the continent you're from, because they're forever changing. Resets after resets, the continent change, they get smaller and so on. So people live by these ideas that they are where they're from, but they're not, because that's just an idea that was created for you. Like, your true origins, you don't know where you're really from. I'm not here saying that I know where I'm really from. No, I'm in the search. I'm making that journey to figure out, to find out, because you're not the country you was born in. The most you are is the social conditioning of that particular district. That's the most you are, because you grew up there. So the social programming, your social programming, is based in that region. But that's as far as it goes. But the you that you are as a soul and coming into this body is very different, because the system has been corrupted. So these ideas of countries that we have was given to us by the system. You understand me? It's just an idea that I'm having. Look at me, I stopped sharing pictures, guys. Please don't be mad. I like talking, sometimes I get carried away. But hey, here's some more pictures. My point is, look at our world back then, a lot more beautiful than it is today. It looks a lot uglier now, guys, and we think we're evolving. We're not evolving, man. They're just releasing technologies to us that we've always had. There's nothing new under the sun, and it's funny, because it's like, what they do is, like, I think the camera was invented around 1895, if I'm not mistaken. Someone quote me, make a comment or whatever, but after that time, they had already done a lot of destruction of our old world. That they made sure they did that so that we didn't have the technology, in terms of the population, the slaves. They didn't have the technology to document things for themselves, you know what I'm saying? So that's how they control your history. They give you a bit of technology when it benefits them, not when it benefits you. Okay. Again, guys, you know, like I was talking at the beginning, you know, the style of building, always you get the antenna on top, and you know, and you get the generator area here. You know, something used to go in the middle there, I'm not too sure what, but it would have been something that would contain that energy that, you know, that the antenna would receive from the ether, from the air, from not air but from the, you know, our atmosphere, the, you know, prana, whatever you want to call it. The energy is everywhere, and our old civilization, our ancestors knew this, and they knew how to use it. And then something happened. I don't know what happened, but something happened where, you know, things turned bad, but not by their own doing, but I believe outside influence had to kind of come in, step in, and disrupt what was once perfect here. Okay, guys, you know, look at just more buildings. Look at the size of the humans, and look at the size of these columns. You know, like you know, like these people had horses and carts. How are they really moving all these materials from A to B? How do they bring all these bricks here? Look all these blocks. Same style of building, intricate. You got your columns up there, always columns that take you straight up, and at the very tip now you've got angels. But I bet you before you'd have had the etherical antenna that picked up the free energy. Again, you know, this would have every building having. Now look at the buildings now, guys. They did a good job of fucking cutting a lot of shit down. But look, these are. This is the structure. These structures, as you can see, guys. These were built to last, man. These were built to last. These are built strong. These are built by very intelligent beings and people that are not scared to use materials. That, you know, because some of these buildings, guys, you know, the domes, the tops are gold. You know. What's this here? But yeah, you know. This is again, this is the Columbian Exposition World Fair, Chicago 1893. This is the first. This is looking from the east. You can see them around, guys. You know, dome tops. You got your antennas there. You know, everywhere. You see antennas on top of buildings. You know. There's so much more. This image, I'm sure the antenna would have been, you know, taken down, but again, you know, the structure, guys, the style, the intricacy of the work, you know, this looks, you know, and the symmetry of the work, guys, you know, you know, one is either you're using advanced technology to make these buildings, or you're using bloody magic. This is China, guys. Around the world, same style of buildings. You can see it. Same style of buildings. We don't build them like this anymore, do we? No, we don't. See domes. Everywhere you looked, you saw domes, you saw antennas, you can see that. (1905), you know. By then, a lot had been taken away. And this looks like the top of a castle just kind of poking out the ground. This is Portland, Lewis Clark exposition. Sorry, you know, and a lot of the times they say that they build these world fairs just for, you know, for the world fairs, and then they destroy them after that, which is crazy. Why would you build such structures to just then destroy them 3 years later? You know. You can see how big this is by the little shadows of the silhouettes of the people that are actually next to the building. You know, again, you're looking at, you got the dome tops, just these very kind of majestic freaking buildings, guys, that can stand a fucking earthquake or a nuclear explosion or something like that. Like, look how beautiful this is. Again, at the top you got your dome. I'm sure they would have had an antenna there too, you know. It's interesting, guys. It's interesting, you know. This is your history, our history. You know, they have us fighting over the dumbest shit, like the color of your skin, the country that you're from, the language that you speak, when they made all these shit up. Guys, like, it's crazy. Like, it has never been about like any of those things. It has always been about them keeping us from ever questioning our history. You know, like, that's pretty much it. Like, anything that the mainstream has told you about our history, I'll guarantee it to you is a lie. Why? Because they don't have you under their best interest. Anyways, a great story here. This is Hiroshima, Japan. You see this building right here, guys, that we're looking at? So this building, again, is a Tartarian style building, just like the buildings I've been showing you. Okay, now there was a nuclear explosion, guys. Okay, now look around you. This man is lucky to be alive, but look around you. Yeah, everything. This is 1945. Yeah, everything that the humans of that time had built, as you can see, is destroyed, gone, finished, finito. But the Tartarian building with the dome at the top still has a good bit of it standing strong. You can see just by this image, guys, that, you know, somebody else built this. There was a different planning and, you know, execution. This building was done differently. This building was designed to last. Why was it designed to last? Because even after that nuclear explosion in 1945, forward in time to 2007, and you can still see the building there, guys, still standing. And if you look close, you can just about make out the block work, the bricks, and you can see that there was a dome there that got destroyed. That's it, guys. You know, all these buildings, all these majestic buildings, you know, bad shit always happening to them. It's always happening to them. You know, they're getting burnt up. This looks like it got exposed to a lot of heat. Because you can see how it, you know, it got all black and just destroyed. Really, you can see the blocks are falling down, but you can see that these are actually blocks. Look how big those blocks are. Like these, look, it's almost the size of him, that block. You know, like, and this looks old as fuck, and this picture looks old as fuck. So who built this? How many blocks could they fucking carry with their horses and carts to make this building, and how long would that take, guys? I need a smart mathematician to do that maths, and let us know in the comments. You know, like, everything was already built. Again, Crystal Palace from Selfridges. This is Nikola Tesla's electromagnetic motor. Nikola, he was onto something, but he was also part of them. Another fire right there, you know, that, and you know, another Tartarian building, massive building. You can tell by the size of the humans right there. Again, columns, dome, and then they literally just replaced the antennas with flags. Now they tell you, oh, we put the flags when the king's home, or some bullshit like that. You know, how did they light up these buildings? They look beautiful, like, Jesus Christ. All these guys. There's so many. There's so many buildings. You know, so many buildings, guys. Old building that looks old as fuck already in this old as fuck picture. You know what I'm trying to say? So these guys here with their horses and fucking cars didn't build it. These dudes with the just invented cars didn't fucking build it, because it was there before they got the cars. So who built this? And how did they do it? But on this one, that's pretty old, guys. You can see that you still have the antennas there, and you don't have the the flag bullshit that they have now, you know, and they still kept it there. And then if you look on the background, all these other buildings, you can still see that they also have antennas on top. All this, guys, this is crazy. This is crazy how huge these buildings are. They didn't build this. They didn't build it. I don't believe it. And this is them, you know, destroying things that they didn't build, taking it apart, because the World Fair is done. So you guys made this massive building just for the World Fairs, and then you're gonna take it apart. And you spend all that money for a bunch of bullshit. Guys, do your research, and then you will see what I'm saying to you fucking adds up. Unless you just want to believe bullshit, then you can continue. You know, guys, there's a lot. I can stay here all day, guys, literally all day. This building looks old as hell. So old. So old. You see the block work right there, same style. These lot in their horses didn't do it. So much, guys, everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's proof that our history is alive. You just need to want to see it. Another World Fair, guys, St. Louis, 1904. World Fairs, in my understanding, you know, they were used to kind of, you know, after the recess, to introduce the population of the world, you know, to update them with the technologies that were going to be used from that time, from that point on, and how they were going to use it. It was a way to educate the new civilization. And before I end, look at that, guys. China, similar buildings. Yeah, you can see here. Can't deny the truth, guys. Similar buildings. If we go to so much, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Stay questioning everything, you know, especially the mainstream narrative of what history is. They have us focused on the wrong things that allow us as a people to fight each other, hate each other, and compare each other, when really and truly the only analysis we should be doing is looking into our past. What happened? You know, how did we get here? And what the fuck is going on? Keep following the white rabbit. Over and out.